how we went from this to this. So me and my wife noticed this house on Rightmove. It kind of piqued our interest. It was just round the corner from us. What initially drew us to it was the back garden. So our current back garden is a small triangle. It only gets the sun until about 10 a.m. and then it's dark for the rest of the day with no sunlight. So it's not ideal. So we're looking for a house with a bigger back garden. Yeah, and we noticed this one. It was on for a good price, and we thought, we'll go and have a wee look at it. We did not expect that the house hadn't been touched, effectively hadn't been touched since the 1960s on the inside. But nevertheless, we decided to go for it. So in the next couple of videos, I'm going to run through the DIY that we've done on each room. We had absolutely no skills in renovating at all when we took on this project, so everything we've done we've basically just learned as we've went along. But in this video I'm going to just show you what the house looked like before, and then the next videos we're just going to run through each room and the kind of transformation that we've made. So starting off, we've got the floor plan here. Looked pretty good in terms of the layout. Nice entrance hallway. The thing that drew us as well was a really big kitchen. We also liked that the living room was a lot longer than our previous house. Our previous house had like an open kitchen, open dining and living room kind of joined together, but the dining room was kind of wasted space. And we liked the upstairs as well, with a nice landing there. So we'll go on to the tour. So this is when we first went to see the place. So this is my wife walking in the door. You can see the carpets there haven't been changed since the 60s. And this is this downstairs hall. There's a nice kind of entrance space. But we initially had ideas for it straight away when we walked in. We were thinking that we could move that radiator onto the wall on the left and potentially put in a downstairs bathroom somehow, which would be a good addition, because effectively this is kind of wasted space. Walking through now, we're going towards the kitchen. So you can see the kitchen there. Again, it's like the wooden cladding, again, hasn't been touched since the 60s. And what I thought was really cool about this house was it had a serving hatch, which was quite popular, obviously in the 60s, when they would serve from the kitchen into the living room / dining room. Yeah, so just completely dated, need of a complete renovation. We've then got this wee cupboard as well in the corner, which is quite handy for storage. My wife going through it all. Then we've got our thermostats, both of them. You can tell how old they are. We've got two. I think one of them was the original one for the 60s, one of them has been installed after, but is also very dated. Yeah, and this is just the hallway between the kitchen, so it's got that kind of cupboard there. So our initial thought was, that's it's all wasted space, this. We should knock that cupboard down, build a partition wall, and reverse that door so it swings out the way, and make that a wee downstairs toilet. So again, we'll go through this in later videos. This is the living room. Didn't really get any videos of the living room, surprisingly, but these are the photos from Rightmove. 2 windows, very, lets the light in, natural light, but again, dated, not as dated as the other parts of the house. Then we're up to the bedroom. So this video was taken after we moved in and ripped the carpet out, but we had to rip the carpet out straight away because the woman that lived in this before smoked like a chimney. So yeah, nice wee bedroom, got the alcove there. And you can see from the Rightmove photo on the left how much she smoked because of you can see where the television used to be and the smoke that's round about it. And in later videos you'll see when we're renovating this and scraping the wallpapers, the amount of tar that comes off the roof. Next up we've got the boiler. So the issue we had with this boiler is we believe it had been running since they put it on the market. And what happened was, you can see that the overflow on the boiler had been running that whole time. So basically, for about 1.5 years, this thing has been dripping, and it's stained the wall outside. Next up, we've got the spare bedroom. Effectively, we're thinking this would be my home office. So again, carpet's dated. This is the only room in the house that didn't have wood chip wallpaper. Again, we'll get to that in later videos. So my wife kind of explained we were thinking about maybe knocking that wall through, but we ended up not doing that. And next up, we have the last bedroom. So me and my wife are thinking that this would probably be a nice walk-in wardrobe. We're thinking about building built-in wardrobes going right round the room. I think that's probably what my wife's explaining here. That has still to be done, so that will come in a later video. And that's just a photo of it from Rightmove there as well. You can see this cupboard that held the old water tank, so I need to get ripped out. With the loft here, we hadn't actually checked out the loft when we moved in, but there was basically nothing in it apart from a load of insulation that we believe someone had ripped off the woman that lived here, because they've literally just thrown insulation into the loft. It's not been stapled into the rafters. It's literally just as if you've went up, cut open the bag and rolled it all over the place. Next we have the bathroom. This has obviously been, it's obviously had work to it since the 60s, but obviously very, very dated. And that'll need completely ripped out. Again, that'll come in a later video. Yeah, safe to say we had a lot of work on our hands if we were going to take this on. Next up is the reason that we decided to go for this house was the garden. It is absolutely massive. It's about 20 metres long by about 8 metres at the back. It gets gradually bigger towards the house. And you've got about, 10 metres at the house. Obviously it's not had any love and attention for many years. Completely overgrown shrubbery. But we could see the potential in the garden. And also, compared to our current garden, it was night and day, even with it being overgrown. But the garden renovation will come in another video as well. So the last part of this was the finances. We had to decide if this was going to be worthwhile. We figured if we managed to sell our house for around 240,000, that we would get enough money back that we should be able to put down a 10% deposit and have roughly 25 to 30 grand to renovate the house. That would be depending on if we got the house for 175, which was a big ask because the home report value was 200, so we were coming in 25 grand under what it was home reported at. Thankfully, that got accepted, and we decided to go ahead with it. So in the next videos for each room, I'll break down the cost of each room, how much we ended up spending, but we effectively walked into the renovation with, it ended up around 30 grand to invest into it, which obviously isn't a lot for the kind of state the house was in, so we realised we were going to need to do a lot of stuff ourselves. Thanks for watching, and catch us in the other videos.